Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something I think a lot of us know, that feeling of wanting to quit your job.
hmm
But you just feel like you can't, like circumstances have you completely stuck.
Yeah, totally trapped. And we're looking at some really interesting insights today, specifically from Sharon Melnick. She's an executive psychologist, and also Dory Clark.
Right, the marketing strategist and author.
Exactly. They wrote a piece called You Want to Quit Your Job, but Feel Stuck. It's got some great ideas.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack that. How can you maybe turn that unsatisfying situation, the one you feel stuck in, into something valuable?
Even when quitting just isn't on the table right now.
Yeah. How do you shift from feeling like a victim of circumstance to, well, being more in control?
Okay, so let's start right there with that feeling, this idea of learned helplessness.
Yeah. That sense that you felt powerless for so long, you just stopped trying.
Pretty much. You start to believe you actually have no options. But the sources, Melnick and Clark, they suggest the first step is kind of counterintuitively, actively choosing to stay.
Choosing to stay. When you feel trapped, how does that work?
Well, it's about the internal story you tell yourself. Instead of, ugh, I have to go to this job, you shift it.
Okay.
Maybe it's, I'm choosing to be here right now on my terms. Or even this paycheck, it's funding my escape plan. Or, funding my next move.
So it's a mental reframing to get back some agency.
Exactly. It stops you feeling quite so powerless.
That makes sense. But how do you keep that feeling going? It seems like it might be easy to slip back into feeling resentful.
That's a fair point. And they suggest making it a regular practice, like quarterly check-ins with yourself.
Quarterly. Okay.
Yeah, ask yourself, what am I actually gaining here? Am I learning anything useful? Building any good contacts?
Focusing on the potential upsides.
Right. And also, crucially, define your red line. What's the absolute deal breaker that would make staying intolerable? Knowing that helps you feel like you do have a boundary, even if you haven't hit it yet.
Okay, so you've chosen to stay, you're checking in. What next? The sources talk about spotting hidden opportunities.
Yes. This is where it gets really interesting. Once you've sort of accepted, okay, I'm here for now, you can adopt what they call a beginner's mindset.
A beginner's mindset, like seeing your job with fresh eyes.
Exactly. You try to drop your assumptions, your cynicism maybe, and that apparently reduces stress and lets you think more creatively.
How so?
Well, maybe you start exploring connections across different teams you never bothered with before, or you dig deeper into how your work actually helps customers, or you revisit old ideas that got shot down, but maybe now there's a new angle.
Ah, I see. You're looking for potential where you previously just saw problems.
Precisely. And there's a great example in the article. An SVP felt she was passed over for promotion, decided to stay put anyway. Instead of just stewing, she mapped out who the key players were, looked for gaps, ways to create value. She proposed a totally new project, high visibility, revenue generating, got it approved, and ended up getting a promotion and raise anyway. She basically created her own opportunity without leaving.
Wow. Okay. So that's powerful, making the choice, finding opportunities. What about our own part in it? It's easy to just blame the boss or the company, right?
Very easy. But the sources push us to look inward, to ask, okay, what am I contributing to this feeling of dissatisfaction? What's actually within my control or influence?
That can be tough self-reflection.
It really can be. But also quite liberating. There's another example, a CTO who was stuck in her contract for a year. Leadership wasn't great.
Right.
Instead of just focusing on that, which she couldn't change, she focused on her own team, improving their processes, building better relationships with other departments.
So she focused on her sphere of influence.
Exactly. And she ended up implementing some cutting-edge tech, didn't cost more, raised her own profile, and felt way less stressed. It's about picking, say, 1 to 3 things you can actively work on to make your situation better.
That makes a lot of sense. Taking responsibility for your own actions and focus.
Yeah.
And finally, the deep dive suggests seeing this stuck period not just as something to endure, but maybe as preparation, part of a bigger career plan.
Yes, exactly that. Not just a holding pattern, but a strategic phase. Use this time to consciously build skills for whatever you want to do next.
So be intentional about growth, even in a job you don't love.
Right. Think about that unhappy lawyer example. She used her lunch breaks to network. Talk to people in jobs she found interesting. That's how she eventually found her next career.
You can actively try to shape your current role too, can't you?
Absolutely. Volunteer for that AI working group if AI skills are what you need next. Offer to represent the company at a conference if you want to boost your public speaking. Look for ways to add skills or experiences that align with your future goals.
Or even use the stability, maybe the predictability
Yeah.
of the current job to pursue something outside, like a certification.
For sure. The main takeaway really is that even when quitting feels impossible, you're not actually powerless. You have agency.
Mm-hmm.
You can reframe your mindset, look for hidden value, take charge of what you can control, and actively build for the future.
So it's about transforming a tough spot into a launch pad almost.
Mm.
By regaining that sense of control, finding those opportunities, owning your part, and really focusing on evolving. You're not just surviving.
You're preparing. You're getting ready for what comes next, on your terms.
It really shifts the perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So thinking about all this, what really stands out to you? How might seeing this stuck time differently as that strategic training ground actually open up unexpected doors later on?